Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and today we're going to make a little folio, and it's going to be covered with material. Now this is one of those cotton bags that I got, and I'll just show you. It says 100% cotton. It's one of those bags, and I've just cut it up, and I'll tell you what size I cut mine, but now you can make yours any size that you want. It's 12 right there, 13 inches long. And then it is 8 inches tall. And then I took an old hanging file folder piece that I had over in my stash, and I have cut those down to, let's see, this is 6 by 7 5/8. Let's make sure that this was the same size. I didn't even measure them. They should be the same size. That and 7 5/8, but let's see. I think this one's a little bit taller, so we're just going to cut it off. So 7 5/8 by 6 is what they need to be, if you're making the size that I'm making. Alright, let's check that one more time. Yeah, 6 by 7 5/8. And I just cut two pieces, and what we're going to do is we're going to glue these down to that right there, leaving a little bit of space on each end and a little space down the center. Okay, now I'm going to use my PVA glue to glue this down, since this is material. It's a thin material, but it's still material. And we're just going to put some on here. Now this is pure PVA. I have not watered it down. I don't water mine down a lot, because I like for it to be just the natural PVA. I don't want it to be watery. This type that I use seems to be the right density, so I just leave it as is. And I'm not going to worry about getting glue on that back, because that's going to need to be glued anyway. I'm going to try to keep it off of my desk. Other than that, we're just going to smear some glue. And you could probably glue this with other things. I don't know. You could try it and see. Try on just a little scrap piece and see if it worked. Now you're just going to put this down and leave just a little bit of your material sticking out on all sides. And let's see, what I'm going to use my, let me grab it. I'm going to use my roller just to roll this down. Make sure that I got all my glue in all the areas. Spread out real well. Alright, there's that one, and then we're going to do this one. Going to do it the same way. Just put down a glob of glue, spread it out, and glue it down. And you know me, I don't go light on the glue, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab an old magazine right here, and I'm going to lay this on there and glue. That way I don't get it on this part. So all those old magazines that come in the mail, the ones that you like to trash because you don't know why they're sending them to you, keep those. They're good for gluing, because they've got that shiny top to them, so they're really good for gluing on. I won't let my husband throw any of them away. There we go. And just try to get your two pieces even. You may have to maneuver it a little bit to get them as even as you can. That looks about right there. Hopefully. Now, since I didn't bring my towel, I'm just going to use a scrap of this. And then I'm going to use my brayer and just make sure that I press that down really well. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna wipe off all the glue on that. Now, you can let this sit and dry for a little while if you want to. The glue on this side needs to dry before we start doing our next application. But what we're gonna do while this is drying is we're gonna go ahead and work on our inside pockets for it. So I'm gonna put the top back on my glue. Now I think I'm going to use this paper, and this is an old Graphic 45. It's called Bloom. I think I'm going to use this for my pockets. So I'm just going to tear out some sheets out of here. Let's see. I'm just going to go through and that's pretty. I like that one. Let's see. I like the back side of that one. That's pretty. I don't know how many sheets we'll need, but whatever we don't need, I'll just stick back in here. Alright, so we'll lay that aside. Now, our first pocket, let's see, I think I'll make the tallest pocket out of this, maybe, or maybe this one, because it's going to be partially covered. So we're going to make the tallest pocket 5 3/4 by 6, and I will write all of these measurements down over on our blog if I can possibly remember. 5 3/4, and then 6. Okay, so we're gonna want one on each side. So we'll put one over there and one over here. So we're gonna need 2 sheets, and I'm not gonna match them. I'm gonna actually have them where they don't match. Let's see what we want. I think I'll do this one. So let me make sure which way I want it to go. 5 3/4 this way, I believe. And then 6 like this. So there are 2 pockets. Now I'm just going to pull this back over long enough to kind of lay these on here. I need to lay my heavy book on top of this while it dries. But that's going to be the 2 tall pockets right there. And we're going to cut a little pull in the top of them. And then we're going to do some maybe angled pockets, some that are a little bit different, some small ones. Let's see. Let's do a little angled pocket out of this. So we want to make that. And I'm going to just, right now, all I'm going to do is mark it. And then I will trim it off, and then I'll come back and kind of tell you the sizes and cut my angles and that kind of thing. This is just making it right up out of the blue. Alright, let's see. Where's my mark? So that would go there. But we want to kind of angle it. So I want to come over about right there. Maybe go down to here. Yeah, so I'm going to come over to about right there, and then I'm going to go up to about right there. So I've just made a couple of marks, and let's see, this one I came over approximately 2 inches, and then I came up about 1 3/4 inches. And then all I'm going to do is put this back in my trimmer. Like I said, I'm making this up as I'm going, so there's no pre-plans. Let's see if that will work. Okay. Okay, that works for that. So we'll make another one for this side. And we don't have to make both of sides the same. I may make this something different. Who knows? Then I want a little, just a little small pocket here. Maybe comes across like this and down. And then just a little tuck spot here. So let's see what we've got. We could go this direction. Put that there. Let me go ahead and trim this off. I don't know if I'll finish this today. This may be a continuation of a video, because since I'm kind of dreaming it up out of my head, I don't know if it's going to be, I'm going to be able to finish it today or not. Let's see. I think I might. Okay, I'm going to trim this off just a little bit more. It is about 3.5 now, so we're going to bring it down to 3 inches. And I'm not going to use this side. I'm just kind of laying that side there to measure it. Then I will come over to about right to there. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm going to trim it. This is down to 3 1/4. And like I said, I'll measure this and put everything over on the blog. Okay, that's what we're going to make that pocket out of. And I'm going to round this corner pretty much. Let's see, what do I have to round it with? I'm not going to, my corner rounder wouldn't round it enough, so I'm going to use something else. Let's see. See if the top of this will work. No, that's not quite big enough. I want something a little bit bigger. Let's try the bottom of this. That should work right there. Alright, that should work. We just want to round that off. Like that. And you can just freehand it if you want to. My freehanding is not that great when it comes to rounding things like this. Alright, so there will be that one. Then I want to put just a tiny little pocket right here with just maybe a little tuck on there. And what was I looking at? I had a piece in mind just a minute ago. Okay, let's look further. Let's look at this. I think if I brought in the pink, that would work. So let's just do a small piece that is about here to about right there. This is how I, a lot of people say, please show us how you come up with some of this stuff. This is it right here. You're getting the live view. It's not always a plan, it's just a thought. And this is definitely a thought. Okay. So let's see what that might do. So we put that little tuck right there. So let's put all of our pockets together here. See what we got. Okay, and now I need to do something with this. I'm not sure what will we want to do with that. I don't necessarily want to round it since I rounded that one. So what do you think? What should we do? I know I could round this one more. I could start maybe here and then just bring it down all the way down like that. See what that looked like. Okay, let's try that. It's just a piece of paper. If it doesn't work, we can go again. Yeah, that's just a little tuck there, so that's good. I'll make sure I got that kind of even. Yeah. So there are our pockets for this side, like that. It's the way they'll look. And this one will have a little pull tab in it. Just like that. So there are those pockets. Now on this side I may do something a little bit different. I may come on up with this pocket and then start some larger pockets down here. So let's go ahead and cut this piece off. And if you don't have material or you don't want to use material, you can always just do these with paper. You don't have to have material. I just happen to have some extra and I thought I would use it. So let's see. Let's see what this looks like. I don't know. We shall see if this will work. Okay, that one's going to go up there. That one needs to be a little bit shorter. I'm going to put those out of my way. Okay, let's cut this one off just a little bit. And cut it off about right there. That will give us two nice sized pockets on that side. There we go. And then we want to put maybe one that kind of stands up like this. Yeah. Like that maybe. And then I might want to put one across here behind it to just make a different kind of pocket. But that needs to be a little bit taller, so let's grab another piece of paper. Let's do this one, and we will put it about that tall right there, maybe. Now we're going to come on up. I'm going to come about right there with it. And then we need to cut it down. So let's see, put that one in there, and that one kind of on the top like that. And so the pocket will be pocket, 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 pocket. So we won't glue. Let me think. Okay, I'm going to cut this one off right here because I'm thinking if I glue the top down here, I'm not going to be able to get into this pocket all the way over. And if I don't glue the top down, then that's going to eventually just spray because it's, or get messed up because it is just paper. So we need to cut that off a little bit. And to me, that looks prettier up that way. There we go, like that. Then I want to come in with another pocket down here. So let's see what we want to use for that. maybe the back side of that. Nope, we got green and green going there. So let's do green and pink, maybe. I'm looking. Oh, let's put some blue in there. So let's come back in with this little pocket here. And we probably just need it about that big. And then it can be cut off about right here, because we just want it to go a little ways in behind this one. If it goes too far in there, you're just wasting paper. So that's what we're gonna do. I hope this is not really confusing. I'm trying to let you see. I know I'm not giving you all the measurements, but like I said, I'll try my best to remember to write everything down as far as measurements over on my blog. But you see how I kind of come to the conclusion of how I want to make something. I don't really have a plan. I just start laying things down and marking things and going from there. It's not a set in stone plan. Alright, I'm going to punch some thumb pulls in the tops of these so that I'll make sure, or hopefully make sure, that I won't get them messed up. There we go. Then this one. I think I will lay it behind this one, and that will help me keep them straight maybe. And then this one maybe. Yeah. Let's do that one. Okay, let's see what we have. That one, and then that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a little thumb pull in the top of this. And this is just a 2-inch scallop punch. I have a lot of people who ask me about that one when I use it. Okay, I'm going to have to trim this off a little bit more because it comes in the way of my thumb pull, which is not a problem. I thought I might. So, and that's fine, that's not a problem. We're going to trim it right there at the top of that blue and see if that will work. Yeah, that will work, and we'll still have that little bit of blue right there that'll tie in with this other blue. I usually have this punch linked below. I like to use the scallop on things like this, the wider ones rather than the round. Okay, there we go with that. And then we just need a little thumb pull in this one. Let's see. There you go. So there are all our thumb pulls in that side. And now on this side we need to put our thumb pulls. And I don't think I'm going to put a thumb pull in that one because it doesn't need it. And I'm not going to put one in that. And I'm not going to put one in that. So those are finished. Alright, so that is our pockets for both sides. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I want to stitch around all of my pockets. And then as I'm stitching around them, I'm going to stitch around and then I'm going to sew them together. You can glue. You do not have to sew these. I just want to sew them because I like the looks of it, but you can definitely just glue yours together. You do not have to sew these at all. But I'm just going to sew them because I like the looks of that. Okay. And I'm just trying to kind of figure out what I want to do, how I want to do this. And I think I'm going to use brown thread since the outside cover is going to be brown. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll do that and I'll be right back. Okay, we have all of our pockets finished. They're all sewn together and ready to go. So just looking to see how I want to put these down. And this is going to be the inside of our book, and you can see the glue is not completely dry there, but when it dries all of that wetness will go away. And then the outside of our book, this side, is going to have this material on it. So I'm just looking here. I think that right there will be good. Yeah, we're going to put them down just like that. Now I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac on this because I'm gluing paper to material. So we're just going to run our Fabri-Tac down through there. I could have used the PVA, I'm sure, but this is right here at my hand, so I'm just going to use it. Where's my little piece of material? There we go. Right, now I'm just trying to make sure that I don't put it down too low. I don't want it below my little file folder, and I don't want it over past the end of my file folder. So I'm just kind of feeling my way there. I think that will be good. Like that. And then we'll put this one down. My sewing machine and I are going to have a long talk. As my granddaughter says, Presley, when something like this happens, she'll say, is it going to have a come to Jesus meeting? Yeah, we are. We're going to have a come to Jesus meeting. It's, I've got to clean it out, I think. The bobbin keeps hanging up, making these little balls there. That's aggravating. But at least it's on the back side, so, okay. Again, I'm just going to try to even this one up and not go outside my little plan there. Not go outside here. Just kind of make sure that it's as even as possible. Oops. Slide it down just a tiny bit. I just want to get these bottoms pretty even here. That's the good about going ahead and putting your pockets together first. Even if you glue them, then you can slide it and it all slides together. It don't, you know, you don't have a piece sliding and then some of them not sliding. Let me look at that. Fold it up this way. That looks pretty good. I think that'll work. I think that will work. Alright, now I'm going to let this dry a little while, and then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to zigzag all the way around this. But first, I think I want to put the outside on and then zigzag all at one time. The problem is, I keep feeling like this is going to be a little bit flimsy unless I put something else in there. It's not quite thick enough. So I may need to go and put another piece of this on the back of that because I want it to be nice and sturdy. And this file folder is a very cheap one, very thin one. So I might even put another piece of cardstock or another file folder on the back of this. Let me figure out what I'm going to do. Okay, I just grabbed another hanging file folder. They're pretty plentiful around here. So we're just going to cut that down to the size of those. Let's see if that's going to go in there. Yeah. I think, yeah, that'll cut it. And It won't hurt if it's just a tiny bit smaller. Just don't make it too big. Then I'm just going to slice it right down the center here. There we go. Okay, so then we will glue this one right on top of that one, and that'll make it stronger. That'll make it more sturdy, so then we can put this material back here. I just want it to be nice and strong. I don't want it to, you know, be flimsy. And these are not the typical file holders. These are very cheap, inexpensive, that I got a long time ago before they started making them a little bit stronger. You can tell because both sides of these are almost the same color. They don't have that backing on them like some of the newer ones do. So if you've got some newer file folders, you probably won't have to do this. This is just because mine are older and very, very cheap. I probably even got these at Dollar Tree or something a long time ago. So we're just going to make sure that we've got a nice thickness there. And you could just use cardstock. You don't have to use a file folder. I use my file folders because I need to use them up, because I've got so many that are just hanging there in my filing cabinet. And now that, you know, everything's on the computer now, so you really don't have to use file folders that much. I use 3 or 4 or 5 a year. That's about it. Everything else is on the computer. So I've just got an excess of file folders. Come on now. Go down where I want you to. Now let's see if that's going to be a little bit stronger. Okay, I've changed my mind in midstream. That other, that material is just so thin that I'm just afraid that it wouldn't be thick enough and I wouldn't be satisfied with it. So what we're going to use is, I have this old placemat. I bought a bunch of these a long time ago when they were, you know, real cheap. They were on sale. They were getting rid of them. So I bought those. So we're going to cut this. And I think I'm just going to cut both sides of it so that I'll have a raw edge here and a raw edge here. And I may even cut this too. I just want to cut it. And we're going to use this. It's a little bit thicker. And I think I'll be happier with this. So I'm just going to lay my ruler down here. And hopefully my knife is going to work today. Let's see. I definitely need to put a new blade in it. Let's see. Okay, it cut most of it, so let's go ahead with our scissors and see if we can get the rest of that cut. Got a line to go by now, so maybe I can get it pretty straight. Okay. So there we go. Don't you look how that curled up there? Isn't that something? See, that has that fusible webbing in it, so I'm probably just going to have to close this. Probably going to have to close it up. So I don't think I'll be able to fray that or do too much with it. Probably just need to sew that up. But I think I am going to go ahead and just cut all the edges. I want to cut this where it's folded off. And then I'll just run a zigzag stitch around it like that. So let's do that. Alright, let's see what we have. That's just exactly the right size. I need to trim these off a little bit more, but that's okay. We can do that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp this on here. And then we will take it and stitch it. And then I'll trim that end off. And I don't mind if the light color, the cotton, I don't mind if that shows out on the front. That doesn't bother me. I think it would be pretty. Okay, so I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and stitch just around here. And then I'll trim that off, and this little folio will be finished other than whatever we want to put on the front of it. And that's going to make it nice and strong too. It won't be so flimsy. So see, it's going to make it nice and strong. There we go. Alright, let me take it to my sewing machine and we'll get this finished. Alright, I'm just going to trim right down through here. And I'm just going to use my scissors on this. Hopefully, I will get it somewhere near straight. Just going to kind of follow that little edge there. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a little journal. A little lap book journal. Oh yeah, that feels a lot better. And then all of these pieces here, you can just fray or you can trim them off. Doesn't matter. I like for it to fray, but we'll trim a few of them off that are not fraying, that are just kind of hanging there. And the more it frays, the better I like it. Alright. So that's what we have right there. The little, just a little, kind of like a little lap book journal. You could put little notes, little notebooks in here, because they're nice and strong. So you can put little notebooks in here and fold it up and carry it with you. It's got ½ an inch in between each, the front and the back, so it's going to have lots of room in there. And you may just have to work it a little bit to get it to fold like you want it to. It's got the room in here, but sometimes you just have to work it because this material was folded in a different place since this was a placemat. But that is that. And I'm going to put something on the front. Let me figure out what I want to put on the front. Don't know right now. Let me think while I'm trimming. What do I want to do with the front? Now I've got all of these strings and stuff here. Mat cleaning time. Alright, what are we going to put on the front? Let's decide. I think I want to put a little piece of this material. I can find a small piece. See what that looks like right there. Okay, I think I'm going to put this down on the front, and this is just a piece of that material, the white material. And I can't decide what else I want to put on there. I haven't decided. So I may not put anything else on there right now. I just leave this and then just think about it for a while. But I just liked that piece of material. And then I just had this scrap laying right here beside me, so I thought I'd put that down on top of it. Like that. Then I started to just put that on there, but that looked kind of lost, so I just grabbed a piece of vintage book page. And I'll put this down there. And then I'll put this on. It just says notes. And then maybe it won't be so lost looking. There we go. There's a cute little cluster on the front of that. Just our little notes and things. Now, I'm going to give a challenge to you. Let me know if you think I should put anything else on here, and if so, what. Leave me comments letting me know. I started to do this, and then I thought that looked kind of bland there. Didn't like it. So let me know what you think I should do down here, or if I should do anything. Maybe not do anything to it. Just leave it as is. But you let me know in the comments what you think. I like your suggestions, and a lot of times I absolutely use all of your suggestions. Maybe you think I don't read your comments, but I do read them, and a lot of times I go by them. Sometimes I may not be able to tell you, but I do use your suggestions and comments. So let me know in the comments below what you think I should put down here, and we will add that to, probably on Monday, we'll come back and add that to this little notebook. And it's starting to fray a lot, and I like that. I like it. Okay, we'll trim those off. And then we'll get a good shot of this and put it up on for the photo, and then you can look at it and see what you think that we should put on the front, if we should put anything. That's the material. Isn't that pretty? That's I don't know, it's got leaves and like berries of some kind, probably blueberries or something on there, and I thought that was really pretty. You open it up, you got all this room on the inside to do journaling and whatever you might want to do. You can put little journaling cards in here. Let me grab a couple of cards. I made some of these last night, so you can put all kinds of cards and things in here all over the place. So lots and lots of room, and just something simple. You could make these for a friend, and you know, put some notes and things in there, or little cards, just whatever you might want to do. And they're kind of flat, so you can even mail these. They would, you know, it cost you a little bit more than just one postage stamp, but it wouldn't be that much because they're not heavy at all. Alright guys, that is it for today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this. It's just kind of recycling some things that was in my stash. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.